mirabilia testimonia tua, et Deus frutata restea anima mea.
The purpose of Kenilworth Revealed really is to get more people into the town. So we have a wonderful heritage here. We have the castle, which people know about, but there's a lot more heritage to the town which we don't know about. And the problem with Kenilworth at the moment has been very severely disrupted by HS2. So we want a reason for people to come to Kenilworth, and that's what it's about. It's about presenting our heritage of Kenilworth and showcasing that to people.
Well, we're hoping that it will encourage more people to come and discover what was once here. They can't see very much at the moment above ground, but this augmented reality project will bring it to life. We will use our mobile phones, and there it will be. We'll be able to stand as though we're in the different bits of the abbey and see what it looked like, so it is extremely important. The most memorable part was when we all dressed up. At one stage there was a big group of us walking down towards the church, as the local people in 1500 would have done, to go to the Sunday morning service, and we got lots of interesting looks from local people and lots of questions. I think some of them were a bit disappointed that we weren't famous.
So I guess there are many special moments. Perhaps the most special moment was filming a horse and cart scene. So we wanted to have horse and cart delivering supplies to an abbey. So the question is, where do you find a horse and cart? Anyway, a long story short, we managed to track down Paul, and he was able to hire us a horse and cart, and thanks to the Lions and Rotary, they sponsored it. And we filmed the scene with the horse and cart delivering, and Paul played the farmer, and he was brilliant.
Well, the market's an interesting one. Originally, the project was around the abbey and the people who lived in the abbey, and in particular the canons. Unfortunately, there was no females, no children in there. It was quite a solitary sort of male environment, and it was quite limited on how many townsfolk you can get involved. So it was decided to put a market in there so that people could actually take part.
Well, I think it's worth making it clear that Geoffrey de Clinton was in fact the 5th wealthiest man in the country, and he was given the commission to build the castle, and the castle he was building was a very, very high status, but you can see from the size of it that it was a serious contender. He felt that it was a good idea for his soul, and in fact even for the soul of the king and his family, to found a priory. He set about having his abbey built, and he wasn't sparing anything at all. This would have been a beautiful building. We would have been amazed. And I don't think many people realise, from the ruin it is now, just how wonderful it would have been.
That's the thing that says that. The one thing that's got me the most is the size, not realising the full size. So when we were talking to Zubal, they were asking where was the outer wall, and we said, well, it was around the Abbey Fields, and they said, well, whereabouts? We said, the whole of the Abbey Fields, and it's a vast area, the whole of the fields to be included. But there would have been farmland and orchards and vineyards and all sorts in there. So it would have been a massive area, but nobody actually appreciates that's where the wall would have been. There would have been quite a substantial wall going all the way around. We know the length of the nave, for example, which is about twice the size of St Nicholas Church as it is now. But when you're standing there, you don't get the feel of that. Now we can actually see what it looks like when you're inside it. So you get this great long building that you wouldn't normally be able to see.
Our role has mainly been to 3D model the actual landscape, so bringing the historical site back to life through a digital reconstruction, and then working with the Kenilworth Town Council and their volunteers and historians to tell stories about the Abbey, so that when you walk around the physical site today, you can see how it looked in the 1500s. The historical team has been really amazing to work with. They know the site so well, and there's all sorts of really intricate detail that we've tried to put into the 3D model, which I hope will come across to the general public, but there's definitely things that some people will notice, some people won't.
We have devised a way of capturing videos and putting them in augmented reality, and that's what we use for the project here in Kenilworth. We use a normal phone to record actors. They could play, being a kid or being a canon, and we record them and then we process the video so that we get rid of the background. We make them look, a bit three-dimensional when insert in the scene. We don't generate avatars. So when you take your phone, you will see them in the same space as with a reconstructed abbey.
We've got 26 plaques that were the marble plaques. They will get laid down in Abbey Fields in 26 locations. Each of those locations will have either an internal or an external view of the Abbey, depending where it is. Each of the plaques has a geolocation on it, so that when someone's standing by the plaque, they'll go onto the app, and the app will then show the augmented reality view of where they're standing.
The Abbeyfield Kenilworth Revealed project fits brilliantly in with the wider aspirations that we have for Abbeyfields in terms of looking at the historic built environment and how we can improve the legibility of the site. The project and the app and the experience will really add value in terms of the way that people interact with Abbeyfield, in the way that they understand the legacy and the historic value of the site. So it's now my job as part of that to take that one step further. So it's not only about the Abbey, but it's also about Abbeyfield and how that's changed and how Kenilworth has grown around it.
I hope that residents and visitors will enjoy using it and feel inspired by how the project has evolved, and that perhaps after a rest period we could look at extending the project to include our castle.
One way we're hoping to encourage people to go into the town is through the game that's on the website, and it's a medieval logo matching game. So you look at the medieval version of and think which is the modern day company that it relates to. So the way you do that is to actually go up to the shops and the bars and the cafes.
So if I was recommending somewhere to visit in Kenilworth beside the castle and Abbeyfields, I would really recommend some great outdoor spaces we have, so including Kenilworth Common and Parliament Peace. There's some really brilliant nature reserves that are really well kept and looked after, and they're perfect for all ages. We also have fantastic independent shops and coffee shops in the town, which are really handy to visit from Abbeyfields in particular. You can have a wander around, and it's just a really nice place to while away a couple of hours and to enjoy what Kenilworth has to offer, which is quite a lot.
I've learnt a lot from the project. I think, first of all, I've learnt a lot about Kenilworth Abbey and its remains and the history of it, and in much more detail than I was ever aware of before. And I think everybody working on the project has learned a lot. It's a wonderful opportunity for schools too, because I think the technology brings things alive.
Mirabilia testimonia tua, Ideos frutata restera anima mea, declaratio semonum tuor illuminat, et intellectum dat avulis, os meo maperui et attraxi spiritum, quia mandata tua desidera.